Welcome to Listen, Left, Connect. Now, some of you might be wondering why we are doing this such early in the morning here in the United States, but I have a special guest coming from all the way from Romania. Let me invite her. Okay, I've invited her. She should be coming on. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being on. Cami will be joining us soon. That is her name. She's a psychotherapist. She's going to explain what a psychotherapist is and does. And then we're going to talk about her therapy dog, or her retired therapy dog, Ray, and what he did to help her with her clients. So I'm really excited for this. She's a wonderful person. This won't be our first time with her. She has a lot to share, and we have a lot to learn from her. So this is going to be exciting for everyone. I hope. She should be coming on shortly. Oops, excuse me, sorry. I hope everyone's having a great morning, great day. Let's start the day off right. Let's do some breathing exercise while we wait. Ready? All right, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do it again. But this time I'm going to tell you to breathe in and when to breathe out. No counting. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. It's a great way to start off your day with some breathing exercises, maybe a cold or warm shower, whatever you prefer. I prefer warm. I know cold's better for you, but cold's just not what I do. Let me try inviting her again. Okay. So I invited her again. What else could we do? Well, say in the comments how are you feeling today? How's your week been going? Has it been going good? Somewhat. It's okay. Hello. It's a new friend. Oh, here's Cami. She joined. Hi, Cami. Do you need me to invite you again? Oh. Let me try. Oh, here she joined. Oh. She's asking me how to do it. Let me invite you again, Cami, and see if that helps. Okay, I invited you. You should get a request, and I think you accept it. Hello. She's asking me how to do it.
Yes, it's not working on the laptop.
Let me invite you again. No. See if that helps. And I invited you. You should get a request, and I think you accept it. Hello. Good morning. She's asking me how to do it.
Yes, I tried it on the laptop.
Let me invite you again. No. See if that helps.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop this. I thought it's gonna work on the laptop, but it didn't. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So I'm gonna try
So
this.
everyone, this is Cami.
Nice to meet you.
Do you
Okay.
want to? So she is a clinical psychologist in family therapy, correct?
Yes, it's true.
Do you want to explain to people what psychotherapy is and yeah, what it is for those who don't know?
Uh, it depends. For example, for American Psychological Association, psychotherapy is a way to help people deal with a broad variety of mental illnesses. But for me, psychotherapy is an art, as we talked
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
Yes,
It's an art about, it's an art of healing the soul and find solutions.
I love it. I love it. Well,
And and I think, do you hear me?
yes, I hear you.
And I think that I like what you said about in your post and listen, love, connect. And I think psychotherapy is listen, love, connect also.
Okay, hold on. We have a comment. Oh, they want to know where you're from.
I'm from Romania.
Yes, she is way across the ocean from us. But with technology and Instagram lives, we're able to communicate and connect with other people from all over the world. That is the great part about social media.
Yes, and I love it too.
Do you want to say on how a little bit because your story is so interesting on how kind of you got into psychotherapy and wanting to be a clinical psychologist?
Uh, a psychotherapist, or about, do you want me to tell you about animal assisted therapy? How I entered psychotherapy? I said I don't remember wanting to do
Yes.
this.
Yes.
I remember not wanting to do this, but I remember I looked in the albums and I saw a letter of application to American College of Thessaloniki, and I saw there that I wanted to apply to psychology, and I was like amazed that I wanted to do that.
Now, how did you get into animal assisted therapy?
Well, many years ago, when I was a teenager, there was a show on reality TV, and it was about the way inmates connect puppies, the way they change their lives by training puppies to become service dogs. And I was like amazed by the way love can do to people, what love can do to people.
Absolutely. And this is her dog right here who helps so many kids. Did everyone see that? Okay.
Yes,
And
this
you
is.
have a Facebook for him, right? Called Dr. Ray?
Yes, yes. My sister-in-law, Teodora Motorka, she's very good at branding, and she helped me with our first brand, Dr. Ray, and she also helped me with this new brand, Kami Motorka.
Yes. With Ray, what did you do? Oh, I think I lost your connection. Okay, there we go. I found you. Um, what type of things did you do with Ray, with your patient, or with your clients? Sorry.
Well, we used to help people with special needed people,
Hmm.
and we worked out there in the picture, like motricity and balance. And we worked on that. But I also worked with kids with low self-esteem. Yes, this is going Integra, the Center for People with Special Needs, and we did a lot of things there. We did activities,
Yes. And then,
and
do you want to share about the tricks you did with them, with the kids to build their confidence?
yeah, I told you the talk we met. I told you that I'm in my office. It was a beautiful program. It's called Be Dra- Yes, that's your dog. There.
Yes, he wants to come into the live.
I took
He's like, I want to be shown.
So we did a program. It was kids came to our office with low self-esteem, and they used in the first phase of the program we talked about self-esteem and their resources. Afterwards, we went and talked about the qualities you have to have in order to become a trainer, a dog trainer. And after that, we watched YouTube channels about how to train a dog and the tricks you can do with your dog. And afterwards, the kid would select one of the tricks they wanted, and we did that trick. We had like 4, 5, 10 sessions, and the kid would be the trainer of the dog, of Ray.
And what kind of improvements did you see in the kids from beginning to when they were like unsure to the end when they were finally able to get Ray to do those tricks?
Uh,
Like, did you see an increase in their confidence?
yes, and kids used to say that if I can train a dog, I can do anything I want.
Ah, I love it.
If I'm able make Ray ring a bell, I'm sure enough that I can, I don't know, take an A at math.
Did you use Ray in your adults, with your adults?
Yes, in depression mostly.
Okay.
We have like walking the dog. People used to walk the dog. We used to walk Ray around the blocks in parks. And in depression, I used to help people be more present, be in the present moment. And like while we were walking, I would say, okay, do you remember what we saw a minute ago? Please tell me the number of the street or the name of the street. And they will be these people would be more focused on the present moment. So I
That's
used depression too with Dr. Ray.
that's wonderful. I love it. It must be such a um, honor to just see the improvement in people using the tools you have with Ray and just seeing the light come out of them.
Yes, it's amazing, and the emotion and the energy, because Ray used to be a raider of emotion. Let's say a raider, because when I had people that were really angry, Ray
Mm.
would go away from them. Like you know, dogs want to be in a warm place and in a happy place and in a calm place. And if you would be angry about, I don't know, in a relationship with your mother, for example, Ray would leave the room. He would
Mm.
go away from you, and we could talk about that emotion. Okay, I see that Ray's going away, and I understand from his behavior that you're not okay with the relationship you have with your mother. Do you want to talk about? Okay, it
So
was,
Ray helped a lot with energy in the room and
yes,
getting those emotions out that might have been kept in, right?
yes, that's it. And Ray was kids would do things for him, you know, for the I you know you received, I sent you a photo with like his paw. That's his,
Yes, I
that's
think
his
I have
paw.
one.
And you have like post-its with Ray's paw. I don't know if you,
I don't have that one, but I have this one.
okay, but we have like kids would receive his paw, like a drawing of his paw,
Mm.
if we did something good, like positive reinforcement, and
Oh,
they would fight for those paws.
that's so cute. I love it. It's just so rewarding when seeing kids come out of their shells with just simply a dog or an animal.
Yes,
Um, do you want to explain what was? I lost it. Sorry.
it's okay.
How about this?
Ray would be, we would do scenes for Ray when we talk about, um, I don't know, I had kids that went through divorce, and we'd do like drama therapy there, and Ray would watch us, and I would ask the kids, okay, what would Ray say to you now about your father and about your father leaving the house? and this is why I'm showing you this picture.
I
So
love it. I love it.
fitness.
So, with animal assisted therapy, was there a lot of research that had to go in before putting it into practice?
Well, in Romania, there is no legislation about.
Okay.
They used to be in my inventory, in the office inventory. We don't have like you have in a USA, like laws for being animal assisted animal therapy. Therapy.
Okay.
So we're just doing this years. Like we don't have that.
Okay. And how long have you been using Ray in your practice? I know he's retired now, right?
Like he was 3 months old when we first went with him at Integra, the center I told you about,
Yes.
and he grew up. He practically grew up there.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Like the kids were 5, and they grew together, grew up together.
So,
So 8 years, right? Like he was 8 years.
wow, that's such a long time.
Yes.
He's a hard worker, hard worker. Uh, I did have a question on this. Well,
This is a scene from international conference. We used to be invited at international conferences and talk about animal assisted therapy. And this is just a scene, an example I gave people to understand what animal assisted therapy is and what animal activities are.
and I'm sure there are some clients of yours that might be allergic to animal assisted therapy. So, what kind of practices do you use with them?
I only had one person who was allergic to dogs, but
Hmm.
they weren't allergic, so we could just do the regular activities.
And do you only do animal assisted therapy, or what other kind of
No,
technique?
I create my own exercises, and I work like virtual reality assisted therapy. Yes, and with the kids that I worked in the office with the special needed kids, we worked with the technology. We had uh, Kinect, the Kinect, and we had like Nintendo Switch with the Ring Fit, and that was amazing. And in my individual therapies, I worked with virtual reality. But I
She,
also now because
yes,
I have clients who buy virtual reality glasses for me in order to work with them.
Cami is not a textbook therapist. She uses all her tools and makes it individually for her clients. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you are.
Oh, we have. Oh, that's so sweet. Um, do you want to explain what you did with your auto, where you made the tools with music?
What exercise?
The
With
exercise.
my artist. Well, it started from the virtual reality because I closed the office and I only work online. I had to do something in order to have the the to have the same effect I used to have with virtual reality glasses.
Hmm.
So I personalized some exercises, and we I started these exercises from the metaphor of Heidi's life or of the bridge, that between us there is a sacred space, and we invite each other to go in our inner worlds. So I took that metaphor of the bridge and I created the exercises with the virtual reality. And then when I went online, I had to put that metaphor to and the effect in something. And I thought about audios.
And how do you find like what tools or techniques help the individual? Like, how do you know which one's right for them to do? If
Because
that makes sense.
yes, they go through a process, through
Mm.
we talk about. And I don't know, I'm a clinical psychologist, and I see people through that perspective too, from their personalities and from the way they are and from what they tell me, and then I know what's appropriate to you.
Okay. Has there been any situation that you were puzzled by that you're like, what should I do for them? Because I know you research a lot, right?
Yes, yes, I do a lot of research. In my office, you mean, and with my clients? Or
Mm-hmm. In your office with your clients, like, has there ever been like where you're puzzled on what techniques might work for someone?
no, no. I think I think we know what's best for us, and we tell each other. Like
That's
if
good. That's good.
wrong, people would tell me it's not for me.
And I know when we were talking beforehand about the difference between different cultures with therapy, and you were saying how I think you said Germany, they like to see like every other month once.
And to have a lot of materials to go through. And if I have clients from Romania, for example, they love to see me a lot more, like twice a month, for example, at least. Yeah.
Callie, she loves her job so much. She says she feels like she doesn't even go to work. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. You're right.
How long have you been doing this?
I think it's for the past 11 years.
That's a long time. You're
Yes,
very wise.
thank you. Yes, it's a long time. Yes.
Um, so in your therapy, is there has there any tools that you've been curious about, or is it always growing? So like you recently learned, I think you said about the audio, right? To use that in your therapy. You're always learning on what other techniques you can use?
Yes, and it depends on the moment you are in your life and in your profession. It depends on what you see on people and the research you do with them. Because everything I created with the people in my office and my clients, and I saw what is the pattern, what is, and because we all change like humanity and like human beings, you always have to change your techniques. For example, there are techniques that work, like, I don't know, uh, 100 years ago, but there are things that you have to change too.
And from when you started doing therapy to now, you've seen a big change? Like what worked then doesn't work now?
For example, maybe like 11 years ago, people had more time, and they would have time to talk more and to be more open. But now everything is faster, and they need more materials, and they need, I don't know, to be more specific and more, and have structure, and have more structure than they used to have before.
Wow. That's wow. That's amazing.
Yes.
Um, what kind, I'm just asking because I'm curious because I used to go to school to be a clinical psychologist, but stuff happened. So, but what kind of schooling did you have to go through?
Here in Romania, I had to go to university, and
Mhm.
then I had to have a master degree in order to be in the college, in the, like, psychological college of Romania. This is what you have to do, and you have to, in order to be a psychotherapist, you have to do like a school for psychotherapy. And I did family therapy, you know, and
Yes.
that school was 3 to 5 years, 3 years of school and 2 years of supervision. That's a lot of school, I see.
Did a lot of school, but that it's all worth it in the end, right?
Yes, it is. It's worth it.
And I know we talked about this prior, but what did you start off doing? Like
Uh,
after you went to school?
I started as a psychotherapist, a counselor at a place where mothers were helped to take care of their kids in order for them not to abandon.
Was that hard?
Yes, that
Yeah.
was hard. Yes,
And
because
I go
I
ahead, sorry.
work with, like, they were teenagers maybe and they had kids, and they didn't need help and they didn't wanted help, and it was like you were offering them help and trying to help them, but they didn't want that help, and that's the hardest thing. In order for someone to heal, that person must accept and must want that help.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
That
not,
is very
it wasn't successful.
Oh no.
No, it wasn't. I didn't see many changes being there. And that was sad too, because mothers did abandon those kids in the end.
Wow.
Yes, I
But
know.
and then from there you went on to doing just one-on-ones.
I worked with families. I worked couples
Okay.
therapy. I had families, and like I had grandparents, all the family there, like 7 members of the family from that family. I worked with couples, and I work with couples and in individual therapy.
Okay. Is it hard when you have the whole family there?
No, it's like really interesting. It's like,
Yeah, it's
and I love the way Salvador Minuchin, the father of structural therapy, used to do that. He used to be in that family, and he used to move that family and do stuff, and I felt like him. I loved working with families.
that's so nice.
There are nice
And
there are nice exercises to work with them, and it's fun to see the way they connect, and you put them to connect.
and when did you start bringing in I'm gonna call him Dr. Ray?
Yes, in the family, you mean?
Hmm.
We could do that from the start, and we could go walking, and
Okay.
and when we walked with the dog with Ray, we talked about who's the leader and who's not, who's helping whom and who's not. So I could bring Ray from the start. Maybe I wouldn't bring Ray if that family didn't need Ray.
Hmm.
It depended.
Independent? Okay. That I mean it makes sense because not everyone is needing that, right?
Yes, yes, and it depended on the purpose of the therapy. Why was
Okay.
why was that family coming to the therapy?
So what purposes would you bring in Dr. Ray?
Uh, I did use Ray mostly in individual therapy,
Okay. And
and
sorry,
mostly
go ahead.
mostly with kids and adolescents.
Okay, that was my next question was what age groups did you use the most? So kids and adolescents.
Yes,
And do you do any, so you did drama, right, with Ray, with the kids
yes.
for certain things. Did you ever do play?
Uh, we used a lot. I used a lot of the techniques. I
Mhm.
integrated them in my therapy sessions. Like play therapy, I created an exercise with your inner superhero, and we used to draw that superhero, and we talked about the superpowers she or he has, and then I created songs for the kids with the kids about their superhero, inner superhero, and so we talked, we sang, and they all had their songs about their inner superheroes.
And
So
what did the inner superheroes do for them?
excuse me, what?
What did like their when you did their inner superheroes, like what did it do for them? Like was it to build their confidence?
Yes, for the confidence and
For
to identify the resources. Okay. This exercise was created because I had a client, a kid who had a shirt, and on that shirt was written, "Today I choose to be my own hero," and I love that photo. And I created the exercise, and
that
this work for the kids for visual, because after the drawing, I would send the drawing to the parents and they would go and print it out and make it, I don't know, in a paint, or put it on a mug, or create a t-shirt with their inner superhero and their superpowers written on the back. So it
Oh
like
my,
Gestalt therapy, it was a symbol and it was for the visual, to remember, to have a visual connection, and to remember that you're a superhero. And it was for this, and to identify the resources. And then we have to reinforce, to know what to reinforce those resources.
so we have a question from the audience. They're asking, is there a difference between European therapy versus American therapy?
There are many types of psychotherapy, and there were like the fathers of those perspectives, and we all follow those structures, and it's the same.
So
So,
same for here and over there.
so if the father of family therapy, Virginia Satir, has a structure, we all follow that structure.
Okay,
In our and it's the same structure, but you can adapt it to your culture, for example, like I used to do.
that makes sense. And I think you told me you have an American client, right?
I have a lot of clients, yes, from all over
She,
the world.
yes, she has all over the world. Is it hard to adapt to the different cultures, or is it very easy for you to adapt?
It's easier because I learn a lot about them before I
Hmm.
meet them. So if I now have a client, for example, from South Africa, and I go to cultural psychology from the books, and and from their history, and I learn about them.
Wow,
There
wow.
are things that are the same in human beings from all over the world, and there are things that are different. And now it's very interesting to see how it's different in South Africa, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yes,
So you are a big researcher, but I think that makes a therapist a great therapist is doing their research and being able to adapt to their clients' needs and culture.
yes,
Because
it's
I would think culture has a lot to do with it, right?
yes,
Or no?
history, geography, climate, they all influence us.
Yeah. Wow. You're amazing. I think we have another client. What are some of the holistic approaches to psychotherapy?
Can you be more specific, maybe?
Uh, this is from a audience. I think holistic meaning no pills.
I don't work with pills. In Romania, psychiatrists are not allowed to give medication to their clients.
So all of your techniques and tools are holistic with
Yes,
the virtual reality, your walks.
yes.
Oh,
So we're not allowed to give medication.
that makes sense. That makes sense. They really like you and Ray, they said.
Yes, they know me. I got
um, oh, they want to know your therapeutic techniques. So we've gone over animal assisted therapy, your
yes,
audio,
yes.
um,
Virtual reality.
virtual reality,
And as I
drama.
yes, and as I told you last time we met, I work now with like David Epstein used to do with letters, and I love this. Okay, I work with letters now, and as I told you, that David Epstein, the father of narrative therapy, observed that a letter, a therapeutic letter, is like it has the effect of four or five sessions of therapy, and that's amazing.
Do you want to explain a little bit more about the letters?
So I use letters in order to heal some wounds in your relationship with your parents, for example. And I created a structure to do that. So it's the bridge again, and we go in this like journey in your inner world. And I can you explain that further? What my technique with virtual reality or what?
I maybe your letters. I don't know.
So
I think.
So, for example, I can give you a letter to write to your mother after we know the relationship you have with your mother and we work that out. I can ask you to send her a letter that has this structure. How was it for you to live in your family? How was it for you to live with your mother? What did you need and you think your mother was successful to give it to you? If your mother would be here with you, what would she say that you're worthy? What do you think she would say that you deserve, for example? What would she say that are the most important five things and beautiful five things at you? What if your mother were here with you, for example?
Mhm.
Uh, what would she say that you deserve? Okay, what would she say that she's thankful for?
Wow. Wow.
So
This
I
must.
this is an
Sorry. Go
example
ahead.
of the letters. One example or another example is that I created. There was a picture on the face on Facebook that
Mhm.
it was saying like the people worth impressing is your inner is your self 5 year old self and your 85 years old self, and I created an exercise from that picture because Eric Erickson, a great psychologist, talked about the the states that people go through, like childhood, what happens there, and what are their needs there, adolescence, adulthood, and at retirement. And that picture was very psychological, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, they love your letters.
and one exercise with the letters is that you receive a letter from your inner self that has 85 years old. What would she say? What's when she sees you in your present moment? What is most hurtful for her to see? For
Mhm.
example. So when I
Wow.
look at I'm so pain. I'm so sad that you're not following your dream, for example. And you
This
have to receive that letter. You have to imagine yourself that you're receiving the letter.
this must bring up a lot of emotions for the
Yeah,
person. Right.
yes. I love emotions. I love seeing people and helping people talk about their emotions and feel their emotions. But
So
tell
go
me,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so a lot of your therapy is more of bringing up confidence and bringing out emotion that they might be afraid to talk about or to bring up.
Yes, because emotions and feeling the emotions are very important. Before I closed the office and I worked with virtual reality, I had a beautiful case with a boy that had a brother that committed suicide, and
Oh,
he came to therapy and we worked with virtual reality with the glasses, and it was really powerful because we had two scenarios,
mhm,
the Oculus Rift, the glasses, and this is the bridge again.
mhm,
And we went in the inner world, and the first thing he had to do it was to picture that his brother is here with him. And we went in a scenario where there was a lot of fog, for example, and it was like a lot of mystery there. And with the Oculus Rift, you have the opportunity to create things. And I asked him to create a grave, and
yes.
imagine that it's his brother's grave, and he had to tell some things to his brothers. And in another session, we invited his brother invited him in his inner world,
Mhm,
although he was dead, his brother.
Yeah.
He went to in space, you know, and that was
Yeah.
beautiful. And I was, for a part of the session, I was the voice of his brother, and I would tell him, because you can see what the client's seeing, you can see on your phone, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
When you have virtual reality glasses, the other
Mhm.
person can connect to them and can see on their phone what you. And I asked, and I told him that I was his brother's voice, and I told him that I'm okay, and this is my new home, and I feel safe now. And my client, I put him to create things like stars when we talked about something. So symbols are really important in psychotherapy to create stuff.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
But
truly amazing.
yes, it was a beautiful session. I felt a lot of emotion.
Yes, yes.
I cried a lot.
I can imagine there must have been a lot of tissues going around.
Yes, 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 it was.
Well, I am so thrilled that we were able to do this, Cami.
Thank you.
This is not our going to be our only
Thank
Listen Love Connect with you. We have a lot more to talk about. This was only the surface of what Cami has done.
you really.
And
And as I told you, I think you're an example for us that you can find meaning in everything it's happening to you.
thank you. Thank you.
Well, you're
Well, thank you everyone for watching, coming on this live with me and Cami. Cami is, go follow her. She is amazing. She has amazing content.
thank you.
And thank you. And thank you guys for watching. And always remember, listen, love, connect.
Yes. This is
Bye,
like,
Cam. Yes. I it's so funny because right now I'm gonna go eat breakfast and you're probably gonna go have dinner.
yes, that's amazing. I love this.
We talked about a little bit of how she loves having different people from all over the world because of the time difference.
Yes. And I can do stuff with them, go in parks, have breakfast with them or dinner.
I love it. Well, thank you, Cami, again for joining me.
Thank you so much for the invitation. You're amazing.
Thank you. And you are too.
Thank you. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.